Welcome to Internal Affairs, a police podcast. My name is Marlon, and this episode is going to be super fun. Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Today I got a very, very special guest, considering they're all special guests, but this particular guest, Danny Roman, he used to be my sergeant when I first, I guess right when I got out of the academy, right? Mm-hmm. So welcome, Danny, and we're going to be discussing a lot about internal affairs because I do know, my understanding is 30 plus years of the LAPD?
32.
32 years, and I know in some of those 32 years, you worked in internal affairs, is that correct?
Yeah, almost 10 years, yeah.
9 years?
9.5.
Why not?
Who's counting?
Well, I'm counting. I just want to know you didn't make it to the 10-year anniversary.
I couldn't stand it no more, bro. Had to bail out.
That simple.
That's simple. I'm messing with you. No, I just got another job.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, just right off the bat. Out of the 9 years that you were there, how many cases did you investigate?
Oh, shit.
Approximately.
I did admin and criminals, so I would say 20 a year, 180 cases.
Oh,
At
north
least
of 100.
15 to 20 a year. So, yeah.
North of 100 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hone in and focus on the number of cases because I got to ask you this. Out of those north of 100 cases that you have investigated, were you able to find out the disposition, the adjudication?
Yeah, almost all of them. Yeah.
What did you think?
A lot of them were unfounded. As you know, a lot of bogus complaints come to IA. 80% maybe, and 20% maybe were valid where they had some disciplinary action. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? That's very interesting because I do know sometimes I do telling the statistics where when I was there from 2011 to 2015, and you can quote me, don't completely quote me, you can quote me on those particular years where 96.4% of all internal, and you're talking over 3,000 complaints a year, were unfounded, meaning it never occurred, you know. So we always wonder, and we talk about that 4%, considering we're a department of 9,000 plus. I think at one point we even had 10. However, let's go take a trip down memory lane, man. So let's do it. Let's do it. Where do we start? And I guess the first question I have is, did you get a letter like one of my other guests did, or how did that go down?
No, it's funny because I was a police student worker. I was going to Cal State Long Beach, I should say.
Okay.
I was going there as I got out of high school, went to Cal State Long Beach, and they had a program. Some sergeant came around, you want to work as a student worker? I go, what's that? Do they pay me? They go, yeah, I paid you. So I signed up. So I did that 3 years.
You don't mind me interjecting. How much did they pay you?
Not enough. Well, it was more than the current. It was more than McDonald's and Home Depot.
What about, was it minimum wage?
No, it's more than minimum wage.
All right,
and the cool thing about it is you're going to school, they work around your schedule.
Oh, okay.
So if I had 18 units, I can only work Tuesday, Thursdays at night, so I would work night shift. They paid well. So anyway, I did that, and then I said, I'm going to become a cop. Because everybody's at the station. I'm working at the station, right? Working the front desk with some salty guys. You need to get a job. You need to be a cop. You need to make some money. You're still living at home. Yes, I am. You need to move out. All these mentors, right?
Right.
So I took the test, and the same week I took the LA Fire Department's test. So I took 2 tests.
Okay.
Because there's both hiring. So 6 months later, I get 2 letters the same week, accepted to the LAPD and the LAFD. I go, man, what am I going to do? I don't know nothing about putting out fires, so I become a cop. So that's when I started.
Just like
I was
that.
in the academy at 21
You
years
didn't
old.
want to climb buildings and go inside?
That seemed like too much work, bro. Plus, I don't know how to cook, and I don't like cats. I'm not saving cats from a tree. I'm not doing any of that. So, and they work out. They do a lot of stuff. I mean,
they clean.
They clean.
You clean a lot.
They look healthy.
You think you clean? Yeah.
I cleaned, but I wasn't crazy about it. So
Got you.
I took the job as a cop. And
Okay.
I graduated when I was still 21.
At 21 years old.
Yeah. I never shot a gun before I went in the academy. I didn't do anything like that, but I got the job, and here I am, man. Retired, getting my welfare check.
Just like that.
Just like that, like you.
Just like me. It's a good thing. I beg to ask, what was the academy like?
It was tough, man. I mean, it wasn't tough. Well, everybody thought I was 18.
When you say tough, let me ask you this though. In terms of the academy, you know, there's a lot of running and a lot of people just hating on. I mean, they're
lot
just
of
yelling
running.
and grilling. Definitely, what you experienced is certainly not what it is today. I think we can all agree with that. But is there something that just stood out, or did you have a hard time like waking
Dude,
up?
they
at 4 in the
choked you
morning?
out once a week. They
Really?
choked you out. They sprayed you with, I think they still do the pepper spray, whatever they call it now.
They just straight up just.
They sprayed you. Stop, stand up. I can't breathe. Stand up, take a lap. That's how it was.
Oh, wow.
And the choking out was crazy because, you know, you get choked out. You don't know if you're going to wake up. I said, man, I'm losing it. You go down, but you got choked out once a week in the academy.
Okay.
So anyway, that's
Then-
probably the biggest shocker for me.
Okay, and then here we are. Then where do we go?
Now we're choking. Now we're choking out. When I went in the field, I go, okay, we can do this. Choke them out. But I left there and I went to Hollywood Division
Okay.
as a boot.
Dang. Hollywood
Yeah.
Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard. Didn't know what a transvestite was. I didn't know what a drag queen was. I didn't know any of that because it was new to me.
Right. And this is where are we at now? 80 something, 90, early 80s or
79, 80.
79, 80. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that like?
That was different, man.
Yeah.
I think the Hollywood scandal had broken out.
Tell us a little bit about that
with
scandal.
With the
Was
explorer, a couple of explorers and some officers.
okay.
I don't know all the details.
Or was it the Hollywood burglars? Or was that
That
earlier?
that was there. That was there as well.
Oh, really?
The explorer scandal was right before the Hollywood burglars.
Oh, okay.
And they had Hollywood burglars with the code 30 card.
Yes.
They would roll and take stuff and do a code 4 or code 12, whatever it is.
Right.
They closed it and they loaded up their cars with stuff.
And then
there
they
was a
call-
probationer that wasn't in my class that got caught up in that. He never talked to me. I knew he was dirty.
Okay.
He never talked to me, but
Okay.
he was dirty.
Wow. You know, I actually met, when I was applying for the job, I used to go to Gold's Gym, and I met one of the officers that was part of that, a Hollywood burglar, where, and if you're not familiar with the story, go check it out. There is some literature, you know, it's a newsworthy event where, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was officers who actually would go to these houses and they would break into them, grab all the stuff, and then
Right.
they would call it in
Right.
as if it's a code 30, which is your code for a false alarm.
Right. And a lot of businesses too. They were doing businesses, taking the
Wow.
stuff out the back door.
You how long did it last actually?
Oh shoot!
Until it probably. They probably
I
did a couple.
transferred out and it was still pending.
Okay, got it. Okay, and then after that, where did we end up, man?
I went to jail division for 6 months. The wheel. They had the wheel.
Did you know, or
I knew because it was either communications or jail. I go, where am I to
Oh.
go? You don't pick. We just send you one.
Oh,
so they
okay.
sent me to jail division.
and what was that like?
That was nasty, man.
Oh, I didn't like it either.
It was awful. The smell took that shit home. Can I say shit?
It's okay.
Took that smell home. It was awful, man. It was awful.
And you got out as quick as possible.
Quick as possible. Then went to Southwest Division
Okay, so
Worked
here
there.
you are at Southwest.
for like 6 months. Then I went to narcotics,
Okay.
where I bought dope, undercover dope.
Woo. How long did you do that?
Shoot, that 6 months turned into like 3 years.
Wow. Would love to hear about the dope experience, but I got to tell you. So take me to internal affairs. So here you are. How did you get to internal affairs, and what interested you? Even if you were interested, what actually happened? How you became an IA investigator?
Well, you know, I was the OIC at Newton Vice. Worked for Mayweather, Captain Mayweather. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I do remember him.
The eye with the eye drops. You put the eye drops every 10 minutes. I go, man, something's wrong with you.
Something wrong with his eyes?
I don't know if you're smoking. I don't know. But I would look at his eyes. Man, I got this problem with my eyes. I go, yeah, I know. So anyway, I left there and I went to IA. I took an interview and I went to admin. I think that's where I worked with Leonard. I'm not sure if it was there or somewhere else.
Okay.
One of your guests, previous guests.
Yes.
So I did that for 5 or 6 years, and then I transferred to the criminal section,
Okay.
and that was like 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so here we are. You have admin and criminal. You mind explaining to the audience the difference between an admin and a criminal section in internal affairs?
Well, criminal sections, just like it sounds, criminal activity. So if the accused officer alleged that she committed a crime of some sort, a theft, a domestic violence, whatever they may be. It goes to that section.
Okay.
The other ones are kind of admin, misconduct, on the misdemeanor stuff.
Okay.
But you have criminal stuff, which is
Serious stuff.
serious stuff, yeah.
Got it. And you did both.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to ask you at some point, a highlight of, in your assignment in internal affairs. But before I get that, and I normally ask in the beginning because I kind of want to lay out a little roadmap of your experience. Let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, is internal affairs the most important job in the police department? Not just in any police department.
I don't think it's the importance.
Where would you scale it?
1 to 10, 7, 8. Maybe
Okay.
7 or 8. Yeah.
And why would it be a 7 or 8?
There's a lot of other, details within LAPD or any other law enforcement agency, right? A lot of the stuff. I got into the community-based policing because I was a SLO for 8 years, and then I ran the Rampart. After the scandal, I ran their community relations unit. I got
Okay.
sent there by the captain, by the chief, I should say. Chief Beck sent me over there. So I worked there for 6 months, and then my last 5 years of my career did the Northeast Community Relations Unit. So
Wow.
that kind of was my deal. I liked it. I liked doing that stuff.
Right, now let me ask you this, so it's in terms of the community, because obviously we're in the business in internal affairs for public trust, right? So you want to ensure that all your investigators are being very transparent and no stone goes unturned in their investigations. And so I got to ask you, what is the role of an internal affairs investigator? What's their duty? What are they supposed to do? What's the end result?
Well, my typical day at IA, you come to work on Monday, you get 3, 4 cases on your desk. Danny, you got 4 or 5 cases. I would look at them. If I knew anyone accused, I'd pass it on to someone else. I didn't want to have a conflict.
Right.
So I get rid of those, and some of them were difficult to get because I wanted to investigate. I wanted to help them.
Right.
But, as you can't help anybody. You just discover, you interview your witnesses, set them aside, interview your potential witnesses, because there's 2 categories. Some are witnesses, some think they witnessed something they didn't. So you get them all up, you get all the accused officers, wait them for last, you get all the witness officers, and then you get the accused. So it was a good job. I didn't try to, some investigators out to get you. I work with some investigators that they're out to get you.
When you know what, it's interesting because I suppose that's why they call it what? The dark side. Or
The dark side.
Yeah.
The rat squad.
Rat squad,
Rat squad.
I just...
I would go out with the case, and I have a new partner. I don't know who it is. You have to team up. You have to
Yes.
take 2. So
Okay.
we go out, and I'm asking, questions, and she takes it. I say she because I remember this one female.
Okay.
Not that it's a bad thing. It's a female.
Right.
It's clear for that. It could be a dude too.
Right.
Just messing with you. So anyway, we go out, and she goes, "Hey, let me talk to you." I go, well, "Why are you giving him all this information?" I said, "Man, I'm not on the got you squad. I want to help this officer out. I'm not giving him anything that he shouldn't know.
Correct.
I'm just giving him some clues. And we don't do it that way." I said, "Okay, well, it's my case, so I'm gonna do it that way."
And what did she say?
She goes, "Okay." I never sat with her. She went like this.
She
She went, "Okay." So I never did another case with her.
said, "Who the hell you know?"
She goes, "No." So anyway,
She got a little. I suppose.
no, she's on the got you squad. She come out with 5 extra allegations. You go in with 2, she comes out with 7 or 8. I
Dang.
said, "Well, I'm not working with her no more."
Okay. Was that just one time and that's it?
A couple of times.
And then what? You
With
just
the-
went to the boss and said, "You know what?"
I said, "Man, I can't work with this girl, this officer, this sergeant."
Right.
So anyway,
When
you didn't think I was gonna say that, huh?
No, I didn't think you were gonna say that. I thought it was like you couldn't tell because you work Hollywood, on the boulevard. So I didn't know if your investigator was, because you never
Hey.
see things. You never seen it in the
That's
past.
That's another interview.
That's a whole different detail.
That's another detail. You'd be good at that, by the way.
Yeah.
You the got Ricky Martin thing.
Which you know what? Let's get right to it. So I just I did my probation. I went to the academy, went to probation, and I'm at Foothill Division. And you know what? I'm so curious to know, after all these years, I know we joke around and all, but what was it like when you first saw me, or what did I do?
First of all, you're in the locker room with your little radio. And you were a probationer. You're not supposed to have a radio. And you're playing this Ricky Martin song. You don't remember that? In your locker, you said, "Do you really want it?" I go, "What is going on with this dude?" So,
but no one
that's
ever
why
told
I
me anything, though, man.
I didn't want to get you burned.
Okay,
you need
yeah,
a job.
that's true. That's true.
You can't get fired.
You're right, because I'm a temporary employee.
You're
For all you know,
temporary.
you're a temporary employee until you get off probation. So.
Right. Then I saw you moving in your car one day to the Ricky Martin stuff. I go, this dude really thinks he's Ricky Martin. You kind of look like him back in the day. Now
I did.
you
I have
look
a lot of
like
hair.
a fat Ricky Martin right now.
With no hair.
With no hair. Show him. Oh,
Yeah.
it's radio. They
Yeah, you know, don't get it. You know, it'll show in another. I won't wear the ball cap in another episode, but
that was a good times. Yeah.
well,
I came
speaking
from a
of,
world at Hollenbeck. Everybody had a name. Everybody had a name at Hollenbeck.
okay,
And it goes on and on. Chili cheese, spider monkey, fish belly, chocolate ant. It went on and on and on.
and
So
you brought the
I brought it to
your game.
Foothill. I brought it to
You brought your
Foothill.
game. You brought it to Foothill.
Exactly.
When did you get to Foothill?
I want to say 99.
Well, I was there in '99. So you were telling me maybe you got there in 1998.
I made sergeant in 98, so it took me a year.
A year.
Yeah,
So,
99.
so when I met you, you were just like a brand new sergeant,
Brand
just
new
right off
sergeant,
probation.
right.
Like, I'm ready to rock.
Working for the worst captain in the history of LAPD.
That simple.
That's simple.
Okay.
I mean, they had a ranking. It had to be in the top 3.
Right. So here's where I'm going with this. Have you had an internal affairs investigation on you? Have you
Yes.
been accused?
Yes.
Okay. And we already
One
know.
time.
Okay. You want to elaborate and talk about that, or
It happened at Foothill.
let's talk.
It's Fourth Circuit.
Talk to me.
You work for an asshole, you get a beef.
Just like that.
Can I say asshole?
You can.
Okay.
I believe we can. I think we're past the 30.
We're past the limit?
Someone said there.
I
is
got
there a
thumbs
limit?
up.
Is there a limit?
Can I say it twice?
Yeah. YouTube. I
Okay.
believe it's 90 seconds or something like
We'll
that.
call him Captain Asshole.
Okay.
I won't say his name.
We just Adam. Adam Henry.
Oh, Adam Henry.
Let's go Adam Henry.
Okay, so
Talk to me. What happened?
I'm a sergeant, morning watch. Yeah, no, it was morning watch. You know, you remember you take your rover, you jump in it, put it in the box, and you go home?
Yes.
They don't.
I know where you're going with this story.
So I put it in the box. I went home.
The box in the kit room with the
The
equipment.
kid room and the guys, you know.
So there's the chair and the
officer.
equipment.
Yeah, it's like 30 rovers in there, right?
Got it.
Put it in there.
Bang.
Went home. You know, they do an audit, and they're always 2-3 days behind.
Yes.
They go, hey, someone told me, hey, Danny, you didn't turn in your rover. I said, I turned my rover in, bro. We can't find it. I know. Not my problem, bro. I just put it in the box like I've been doing for 6 months here. And I've been doing it at Hollenbeck for 20 years. He goes, I don't know, we can't find it. So someone decided to write me up, and the captain got it. And he says, let's make this a 181. A 181, right?
Yes.
Still.
Back in the days of 181. That's a form. It's an LAPD form that represents a complaint investigation face sheet.
Now it's 128.
Now it's a 128.
We got weak when it's 128. I don't
we
know.
went down. We scaled down.
We scaled down.
We scaled.
Well, 181 sounds,
I don't know how.
sounds serious.
That's
128 sounds chicken
Because
shit.
you're like a 187. You're almost at 187. I like it.
Right. So then you got a beef. I turned it over and he goes, he wants me to interview you. This is a lieutenant. Good guy.
Okay.
Good guy. I said, interview me, man.
For what?
What I do with the rover.
Let me interrupt you there. Did the captain tell you what you have in a 181? They were cutting a face sheet on you?
He didn't tell me.
So he didn't say anything.
He didn't tell me anything.
He just
The
brought you.
lieutenant told me, hey, listen, Captain Adam Henry
Yes.
wants to make a complaint on you for failing to secure a rover.
Okay. Your radio.
My
Okay.
radio. So I said, I turned it in. I go, whatever. I'll just steal it. I never had a beef in my life.
Okay.
My
Never.
whole career. Nothing. Nothing.
Really?
20. I was 20 years when I made sergeant. Nothing.
You've done 32 years.
Nothing.
And so you're 0 and 1.
I still don't have.
1 and 0.
I'm 1 and 0.
1 and 0.
1 and 0. Thanks to that asshole,
Okay.
Adam Henry. I keep saying that. I think we're over the limit.
Okay.
So anyway.
So how'd it go down? Talk to me. Walk me through how to.
So then, they take my statement. And I said, I put it in the box.
Did you get representation by any chance?
No.
Because you didn't.
I didn't need it. First of all, I didn't think I needed it because
Okay.
it's slam dunk. It's a, you know, I did a
Unfounded.
bunch of complaints before. It's
Unfounded.
easy. Unfounded.
Got it.
So then, the lieutenant, which is a good guy, he came back. He goes, Danny. He said, he's got a hair up his ass about you. He goes, well, what do you mean? He goes, he wants you to change your statement. I'm not changing my statement, bro. He goes, you want to, bro, he's going to order you to a trial board if you don't change your statement. I'd go, what the F is going on here, bro? He goes, I don't know. Just tweak it. What do you mean tweak it? Just say you think you put it in the box. You think you put it in the box.
Okay.
I said, I don't know about that. He said, I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you on that.
And now we're going to get representation.
No, I got representation. Yeah, I did. And then the league, I got someone from the league. I talked to an attorney at the league. I was like, I'm fighting this shit.
Yeah.
Right? So he says, just change the word, man. He's going to get you on the board for lying and denying.
Wow.
That's a serious shit,
Okay,
right?
so we go from you dropping off your radio in the radio equipment box in the kit room, the
Right.
equipment room, to now we're looking at serious allegations and
That's
possibly,
termination.
it's possible to send them to a board of rights, which is a hearing, which I'll explain in one of many episodes as we go through this process, if you will. Basically, you're facing something serious,
Right.
a
right.
false statement.
Believe it or not,
Oh, wow.
he made it into a big mole of shit.
Okay.
So I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Then what happened?
He says he wants to send you home. I go, oh shit. No, it's messing with my pocketbook. I go, man, I'll do it. And my rep said, just do it, Danny. Just do it. What you gonna get, a day or two? I said, he's putting pressure on me because he doesn't like me for some reason, and he's an asshole.
Okay.
I had to say it again.
Yeah, that's okay.
My feelings are coming back.
No, I'm
So
emotional here. I love
so
it.
anyway, I did it. I tweaked it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wrote a skelly.
Okay.
He was going to give me 3 days.
Okay.
I wrote a skelly
You did a response
response,
Uh-huh.
and it got up to, it was Chief Parks, I think.
at the time.
And I don't know if you know anything about Chief Parks. He should write in brown ink.
Oh,
He would write in brown ink. If you got a note from the chief, it was a brown ink. He did it himself. No staff.
Oh,
No
okay.
staffer. He did it.
so is it like a power move to let you know that he was the one that actually
He was
looked
brown,
at this?
and he wrote in brown ink.
Oh, wow.
Well, I get it. I
Okay.
probably would do that too.
Okay.
You know, get a point.
Yeah,
out
I
of
had a
it.
commander who wrote in purple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a power move.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
know.
power
Purple
move.
represents like royalness and highness.
But
and
you know, he was the
hierarchy. And I'm
bird.
like, dude, you know, you ain't
But he
gonna-
was
why
the
you gotta
first
write
black
purple?
chief of police. I
Okay.
get it. And Brown sends the message. I get it, man. I'm brown as well. Right?
Okay.
So he signed it. He goes, Danny, because I knew him as a slow
Oh, so
at
you
Harlem
knew-
McHugh Center. So I knew him. So he wrote a personal, Danny, I'm sorry you had to go through this. This is unheard of. This is BS. He wrote BS. Exonerated. No days off.
Wow.
They gave me a 0. But I couldn't stand that guy. I couldn't stand that captain. I mean, he just got under my skin, bro. That bothered me for like a year and a half.
Well, which I am going to pull from the emotions of this because look, here we are, 2023. You know, I saw you at Leonard's retirement. It's always great seeing you, but on a serious note, this happened back in 1999.
Right.
Right, that was 25 years ago, almost 25 years ago. And I got to ask you,
I still get pissed off about that.
that stands out, right? Can you kind of just elaborate a little bit about why is it? How can you tell someone, or advice is the best way to describe it, of someone that's going through something like this?
You know what? There's a system. I took the system to grieve everything, right? So I grieved it. I won, but that was the one in probably less than 10% that win the grievance, right? So I won it, but I was so upset. I shouldn't have crumbled the first time.
Right.
But you got 20 years on, you got a house, you got kids, you got a lot of shit going on.
Right.
You know, man, I'm not going to work at McDonald's.
Right.
Not that I ever worked at McDonald's.
Not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing.
Back in the days.
For those McDonald's, I get it. I get it. You have to work at McDonald's. But, you know,
I hear you.
I was 21.
Yes.
22, so.
Yes.
I
Your
don't-
career is on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what you're thinking.
Exactly.
So it's not so much about the process, but it's more about, you know, oh
Right.
shit, here I have this.
And the thing is, I bumped into him numerous times after that on the
Really?
job.
What was that like?
Well, I see him somewhere, and he go, hey. And I'll be with guys that go, that's that asshole captain I was telling you about.
Really?
Yeah, and he would walk away. He'd walk away. I see him at the gym. He would go to the gym at the academy. I work out at the gym. And he would work out with no shoes on. He's like a weird dude. No socks, no shoes.
I know exactly
I
who
go,
he
this
is.
dude's a punk, man.
Yeah.
Can I
And-
say punk?
Right. Well, did you think at any point? That's interesting though, because at no point did he approach you and say, "Hey, you know."
No.
I mean, it's conflict. It's
No.
conflict, and it was never resolved. Would that be fair to say?
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. It was a conflict. He never
Bothered.
He never bothered to tell me anything. I signed my paperwork. No one said anything to me. I just signed it. It was a win for me, but it bothered me. And I
Right.
still, when I talk about it, it kind of bugs me because he got away with that.
Right.
And I won.
Right.
But just he had the. That's why, you know, I respect command staff. Most of them are good, but sometimes you have a couple of Adam Henrys in position.
You know what, Danny? I say this a lot when I teach the internal affairs officer-involved shooting course with a Savage Training Group, where I tell the students that unfortunately for us, in the machine that the LAPD has, at some point, and I've experienced this, it gets personal.
It does.
And they meaning command staff, the levels review, because the levels review are all command staff. And, you know, and just to, you know, kind of educate the audience a little bit. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but at LAPD in a division, you have a captain 1 and a captain 3. So you have 2 captains, so they have to pretty much review it.
Right.
Then it's going to go to bureau, which
Right.
is a commander and a deputy chief. So they also get a say in
Right.
it. And then next thing you know, it's got to go to internal affairs, and they have a deputy
Very
chief and a
many
commander. Right?
levels of review.
So there's 6 hands in the cookie jar, and you would think, and I know from your experience, and well, I should say in our experience, you think there's concurrence. And normally there isn't.
No, there
right?
isn't.
And then someone's got to go and sell it to the chief and say, hey, you know
Right,
what?
right.
Danny did this, and that. The shittiest part about all this is that at some point, believe it or not, it's because they didn't like Danny or they didn't like
Right,
Marlon.
right.
You know what?
Right. Exactly.
Just
That's
go
what-
ahead and
that
give
was
him
the
3
case.
days.
That's what the case was with my case. The thing was that saved me, I knew Bernie Parks, what community events, when I was a slow at the Hollywood Youth Center. I did a lot of stuff with him in his office.
Right.
And he knew me better than that.
Your integrity.
My integrity was at a certain level.
Yes.
And, you know, and he believed me. He didn't, and maybe he had issues with that captain.
Maybe so.
Maybe
Maybe he took it personal too and said,
took
you
it
know
per-
what? I know Danny. There's
Right.
no way this happened to Danny. And you know what? It happened, but I'm going to exonerate him.
Right. Thank God, Bernie Parks, wherever you at.
Well, look, now we're at the part where I get to ask you best and worst. So I want you to tell me best and worst moment or incident, right, in your career. Let's go with the best.
The career?
Yes.
The best? Man, I think being a slow on the job was good. I met a lot of good people. Not slow when I was slow at Hollenbeck years ago.
Senior lead officer.
Senior lead
What does a
officer.
senior lead officer do? Maybe you can explain to me.
It's a liaison between the police and the community. So a senior lead officer, you know, does business watch, neighborhood watch stuff, and all the things that incur within the CROW unit, community relations unit. So
Got it.
you meet people, and you wind up being friends for a long time. I've been invited as a pallbearer at some of the funerals.
Oh, wow.
I've been in their weddings, a lot of stuff like that. You get that relationship with them, and it's a partnership, right? More
Yeah.
than a partnership, it's not that it's personal, but it's a friendship that you value.
And let me ask you this, Danny. So when here you are with the 2 letters, right? You got a letter from the LAPD and a letter from the LA
know.
Fire Department. Fast forward to the time that you were a senior lead officer. Did you have any clue how much of a difference you were going to make an impact on the community?
When I got that job, I knew I was going to make an impact. I really did. As a slow, absolutely.
Do you feel as though that's something that we don't show enough, or sensationalize out in the public?
Well, it's changed.
Okay.
I don't think. I hate to bash anybody else, but when I was a slow, it was kind of. We took the job like to heart.
Right.
We work overtime, not even get paid for it. Work on days off.
Got it.
All
Because
stuff.
you cared. All of you guys cared.
They ask you to do something. Go, okay, I come in Wednesday to do whatever they need.
Right.
So it's very satisfying.
Yes.
Now, I had slows that work for me, and you
The-
can pay me? I go, yeah, no, I don't have a budget, bro.
Wow. So.
So, it's different.
Right. Self-serving.
It's self-serving.
Very self-serving.
If it's not in their schedule, yeah. I got, and
Doesn't-
they
if it
got
doesn't
a
benefit
life. They
them-
got a life. They got some
True.
stuff to do. I get
True.
it. But for me, I didn't want to let them down.
Yes.
I didn't want to leave them down.
That's-
Danny, my daughter's graduating. Can you come over? Take me, and I'll pick them up in the police car. Take them over there. A lot of stuff like that. It was
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
And they remembered that. They remember that for years and years and years. I got a couple right now that's in their 80s that we talk to all the time. 80 or 90, right? 80, 90.
Wow.
She knows them too.
That's
And
amazing.
I love them, and
Yes.
they love me. And they, so you build these relationships. So it was a good ride for me.
And that's I can just I can feel the fact that that's more important than anything else.
I mean, the check's not bad too.
Well, I mean,
We gotta
time and
eat. Gotta eat.
Yeah,
Gotta
32
live.
years.
I know.
You doing 90%? Something
No.
like that?
I stayed on the other
What,
tier.
did you do the drop program? Is that
Yeah,
what
I
it
got the
was?
drop.
That's the deferred retirement program.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
You get to
yeah.
lock in a pension,
Yeah.
a certain rate, and then still collect for
Right.
5 years or something like
Right,
that.
Right. Did you do drop?
No, I didn't. I actually, I knew in my career it was time for me to go. And for all you listeners out there, you'll know. You'll
Right.
know when it's time to leave.
Right.
There's a certain culture amongst in LAPD where I remember when I was told, when I had 10, 15 years, you got to go on drop, you got to go on drop, and
No,
you got to
right,
do drop, and you got to do drop. And you know what? Each one of us has its own set of unique circumstances.
Right.
When you know you got to go and do something else,
Right.
and move forward.
I think with me, I was working. Had the Crow unit in Northeast, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So you enjoy it. You're not.
Yeah, so
you're
why
not
even-
doing the ComStat and all that stuff.
All the other
it's,
stuff.
It's like easy stuff.
Yeah.
I grew up doing that stuff,
Yeah.
so it's easy. So, dude, I'll do drop, do it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I often say this, and I think you'll agree with me. Sergeant is the best position in the department. You know what? They leave you alone. You develop a skill set. You got this, an expertise in something, and you know
You
what?
just got to get over the first year hump.
Yeah,
Year
and
and a
then
half.
and you'll find a pocket, and they won't bother you.
Right.
They'll bother a lieutenant or a captain. Well, they'll move them around, but that sergeant's got that expertise. Well, we can't
That's
lose.
actually what happened to me when I made sergeant.
Uh-huh.
They sent me to Rampart, Foothill, and then Rampart scandal, and I got my last 5 years at Northeast as a Crow sergeant.
That's
so
awesome.
that's my expertise, whether
Yeah.
people think it's valuable or not.
I think it's very, very valuable. And then again, it's just my opinion. I suppose I'm a little biased because you were good to me throughout my probationary period. I got to ask you, what about the
barely
worst?
squeaked out
you-
five,
well,
bro. You
you
barely
did.
squeaked.
Yeah, but I'm here.
You're here.
I made it happen. I made it happen. I got to ask you something. Worst moment, if you have one.
On the job,
Yes.
415 woman call in El Sereno. Drove down, you never worked at El Sereno.
No. I
Down
don't even know where
Huntington
it's at.
Drive, butts up to South Pass.
I'm 818. So
Oh, okay.
Valley all the way.
Screaming women. I get there, first unit, I was by myself, first unit, and everybody shows up. I walk in the house, the lady's screaming at the top of her lungs, full of blood, all over the face, her body. She wouldn't shut up, she wouldn't shut up. Her daughter, probably, I'm gonna say, I think she was 12 months, 13 months old, stabbed 20-something times. She wouldn't stop crying, so she just lit her up just stabbed her 20-something times.
Wow.
Bloodbath, that was the worst scene I've ever seen, bro. And I think about it, you asked me, and when people ask me, that's the first thing that pops in my mind.
Wow.
That was awful, man.
And how long ago was that?
That was like slow, probably 97, 96.
Wow. I suppose, can you tell us what the outcome, if you even knew what the outcome was or the end result?
I don't even remember. I was like, it was tough.
Wow.
I remember when Captain Murphy showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at each other like,
This is just horrible.
it's horrible. We didn't even talk about it. And I see him every once in a while. We don't even talk about it.
Yeah, but, some people don't understand the things that you see and how it affects you, definitely on a personal note as you'll walk a path of life, if you will. Here we are again, 2023. We're talking about something that stuck out to you over 20-something years ago.
What was your? Switch the tables on.
I would say for me, it was not just a particular incident. When I was in internal affairs, working as an advocate, basically it's a prosecutorial role. I was prosecuting cops that were about to get fired for lying. Mm-hmm. And for me, every time that I prepare for a case that involved a false statement and I had to prove, my job was to bring all this evidence, preponderance, right? More likely than not, 51% to the board members. I just found myself I couldn't help but to empathize and think to myself, this person's going to lose it all. And maybe they could have avoided it, not lying. Or they would have had better representation,
right?
They could have avoided it. Or that investigator did not turn every single stone.
Right.
And at some point through all these levels of review, it gets personal.
It does.
And so for me, that's definitely my worst moment. And I got a whole bunch of good ones. And, now you're going to make me, I mean, I'm not going to go in tears, a little emotional, but.
Don't do that ugly cry, bro. Because that's going to be an ugly
Ricky
face.
Martin, like Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
I'm trying to still figure what song was my favorite back then, but yeah, I got
La Viva Loca?
There you go. That's the one. That's the one.
La Viva Loca, man.
We're about to wrap it up. Danny, look, here you are. How long you been retired?
10 years now.
10 years?
I got 10
Tell
years.
me, what are we doing in 10 years? Or what are you doing now?
We're doing a lot of traveling.
Okay.
I sell houses at Remax. I've been doing that for like 20 years.
Okay. So need to get a hold of you to sell a house?
I sell it. Call me.
That's simple.
I've been doing that for a while, and then I've been doing that before I retired.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know.
Setting yourself up?
I think I sold you a little Section 8 housing.
You did. I think I said no when you were trying to sell me a Section 8.
You didn't have any money.
No, I
were
didn't.
broke.
I was broke. Broke as a joke.
You said, hey, I got 2%, bro. You can't buy anything with 2%. But yeah, I've been doing that, and then I have a granddaughter that's 12 years old.
That's awesome.
And she's going on I think she thinks she's 30. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Good,
After 13?
Yeah.
13, it goes downhill. Well, you know this.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just all downhill.
And everything's good, man.
That's good to hear. Look, before we wrap it up, any advice you can give any young officers coming on the job? I mean, it's completely different than what you went through, but...
No, it's a good job. It's a good paying job. It's rewarding. You take a lot of pride putting on that badge and the uniform. Just do the right thing. Don't get tempted. Do the right thing, and you go home safe. That's all you got to do, man. It's a good job.
Awesome. Sergeant Roman, my boy Danny, hey, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for another couple of good episodes we're going to be having coming up. I do know that we're going to have a special guest regarding the Breonna Taylor case. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and certainly don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
And don't forget, there's captains that are Adam Henrys.
There is captains that are Adams Henry out there. Do not be self-serving. Do the right thing. And everyone out there, be safe. And don't forget to go Code 6.
Good job. That was good.